Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. Christoph, as I told you, if you wish to deal for our Blossom... Oh, who is this? I'm Captain Diana Nelson. I've been informed that you or one of your people can help us. Perhaps not. Explain your situation and I shall consider your words. The Paladrains invaded our lands. They brought a sandstorm in their wake. We pushed them back, but some of our people breathed in the dust. And the blood flower bloomed in their lungs, did it not? Beauty from a human. Something I didn't expect could happen. There is little beauty in death, even for humans, Nator. Yes, I think there is something that I can do. However, there is one thing I require. What is it? Draydens will be free to cross your territory as the winds and stars command. What? Give you free rein to go through our lands? If your hands weren't bloodied, we might talk of something else. But you already slew one band of Draydens earlier. If you wish my aid, you must give us an equitable trade. Viale, you give away too much. The only good human is a dead human. Hush, love. I know what I'm doing. Perhaps we can allow you limited access. No, that will not do. Only when you acknowledge our rite of passage will we aid you. Well, that could have gone better. Mira, are you sure we need the Draydens' help? Unless you can establish contact with the Empire, then Samuel and Griselia are dancing on a knife's edge. I'm sure we can't get the Draydens to agree to some other kind of trade. Normally I would say yes, but it looks like Viale is trying to drive home a point. Maybe, if you can't convince the healer to come here, why not make her? And how would you do that? Remember the first time I planned an extraction? With sufficient distraction we could be in and out with no one the wiser. That could be considered an act of war. No more than the Draydens' initial attack. I don't know. Something else to consider. If we see the healer's cure in action, I'm sure I can duplicate it for our future needs. For that matter, if you are too dainty to do it yourself, I have a few boys and girls who wouldn't mind mixing it up instead. Plausible deniability. You know, you could use a different third party. There are alien outcasts willing to do such things. I know where we could post a job offer. They wouldn't know it was us. A girl after my own heart. Bonus rare Empire starting card. I find it dodgy that there isn't even an option to, not kidnap this healer, but oh well. Okay. I'm not a fan of mercenary... Oh, bugger it, we'll do it ourselves. This will take some planning. Caden, Christoph, I'll need details about the caravan. Finally, a chance to break out the camouflage. Kidnapping foreign leaders is usually frowned upon, you know. Yeah, this is going to be socially awkward. I respect the company, however, if you have better things to do with your time, you can head back. And get caught sweeping up the sand? No, thank you. This is a much better use of my time. My mother always said I'd need a flamethrower to clean my room. However, what's the real reason you're out here? I just want to ensure nothing happens to the Drayden healer. I swear, nothing is going to happen to her. Not for nothing, but I would rest easier if I saw it for myself. Draydens occupy much of your thoughts lately. Why is that? It goes back to my second deployment. I had the weekend free, I went rock climbing. This mountain made Olympus Mons look like a molehill. I was about a third of the way up when I lost my grip. I hope this was a low-gravity planet. It was, but I still fell. I would have died if a Drayden caravan didn't happen upon me. For whatever reason, they cared for me until I could get back to base. But you hold them in a higher regard, don't you? Some mornings I look at their sand runners and wonder what it would be like to join them, traversing the waste for a new locale every day. Nothing tying you down except for those bonds you make yourself. Sounds like you want to turn pirate. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I envy them their freedom. Imagine it. Just being you against Stronghold itself. I think you are fortunate. Some Draydens think the only value of humans is as food. I've seen the images, but this batch were quite civilized. And again, it could be it was led by a shaman rather than a vanguard. And we're going to have to continue this later. Our guest has arrived, but a few others are here to crash our party. Okay, and of course we're limited to 15 bloody cards, right? Ditch them. Don't need the lasers in this one. Don't need the drones. Probably ditch the missile turrets, but they have... yeah. Ditch the battle drones. Ditch the sharpshooters, and ditch the spiked iron. Oh, Xavier has to be selected, does he? Okay. To be fair, he does have some half-decent cards, but... Engineer. Random allied unit with robotic or wall heals 1 point at the end of the owner's turn. I'd say potentially useful stuff, but I tend to stick to the basics. Ah, I've got an artillery tank, spiffing. 1 damage to 2 enemy units at the start of the turn. Deploy some infantry. Deploy a cannon. And deploy some more infantry. Fire, fire. Now what the hell killed my infantry there? Alright. Both of you fire. Deploy Grenadier. Blow the hell up. Cannon. You can take the damage, so do that. Fire over there. Deploy another cannon just in case. Fire, fire, fire. And let's deploy some assault infantry. Fire, fire. Good. Salutations, Healer Ville. Please forgive the nature of my visit, but we need your help. Pardon me if I don't return the pleasantries. Being kidnapped has a way of leaving a poor taste in one's mouth. This wasn't meant to unfold like this. I regret having to take you, but we sorely need your help. If things had gone off like they were planned, no one would have been hurt. Then let this be a lesson to you. A Drayden healer doesn't go unnoticed for long. Vanguard Nator will search high and low for you. He will be tempted to make flutes from your bones, and I can't say I would stop him. I promise you'll be returned once my people are healed. And if I refuse... very well, bring me to the afflicted. But remember this, a knife's wound may heal, but a tongue's wound won't. Scene 15. Colony Hospital. I'm glad you're back. Griselia and Samuel are getting worse. When you're ready, your patients are this way, Healer VL. Very well, though I can sense the soul shredded from here. Soul shredded? Almost sounds like cereal. That's shredded wheat, and you know better than to skip breakfast. The Paladrain attack is devastating because it works on 2 levels. The first is physical. The crystal particles are like knives, and unless you have a matrix hide, will bring you low. I've managed to remove the crystals, but I'm unable to heal the damage, which is the second effect of the crystal plague. It disrupts the tie between body, soul, and mind. Even if removed, the disconnect will remain unless one guides everything back to balance. Indeed, by all accounts, there should be some response, however minor. That would explain some of the wounds I saw in the battlefield. Many of them never came out of the coma. There is no surprise. If it keeps an enemy from the battlefield that much longer, then why not use it? Although I personally loathe the effect it has. There is nothing worse than seeing a lacerated aura. Now you sound like Griselia. Ah, that is right. She is the psionic. However, don't dismiss that which you are unable to perceive. It would be like explaining the virtual reality. Just because you may not see it doesn't mean it's not there. But it isn't there? Not really. Not without the machines to maintain it. But it is an apt comparison. For those with the gift, there exists a world of mind, if you are but able to open yourself to it. And once more, a group of haves and have-nots. Yeah, but this one you can blame on biology. If you wish to be angry, young one, then blame the dictates of fate. And yet why is it that even if you can read another's thoughts and emotions, you still fight? Understanding does not bring agreement. The mail is starting to flag. It is time to bring me to the patients. 2 days later. Do you have anything to eat? Do Do you need anything, healer? Been in a trance for days. We didn't want to disturb you. Aww. I will be fine. And thank for your concern, Dune Runner. The healing, it took more out of me than I expected. Restoring body, mind and soul, that was easy. And the female, it was a pleasure to dwell in the oasis of her mind. Only after you found me. If not for you, I would still be lost. It was horrible. Winds howling, tearing at me, buffeting me back and forth. That was only the crystal plague. However, whoever taught you how to shield yourself should be buried up to their neck in a hawk's nest. I'm self-taught. There was no one on Earth to teach me. Roselia is the first psionic I've ever met in person. I used to think psionics were just stories the government told to keep people in their place. Only if they can read your mind. I see. Remember, ground yourself first, and the rest will sort itself out. However, physical healing, so inefficient. Male almost had 2 livers. It will be worth it to finally be able to drink Christoph's homebrew. Oh, don't speak ill of my brew. It'll put some hair on your chest. The cleaning staff could use it to strip paint. It was quite fascinating to watch, though, when the lungs started to bud into pairs. It reminded me of a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. I think it's the first true case of psychic healing I've ever seen. Yeah, you know you're in trouble if your doctor starts pulling out chicken gizzards. As you can see, captains, your friends are whole, if in need of some more rest. This leaves one final matter. Do I return home, or... I won't let you... Xavier, stand down. No harm is going to befall the healer. Okay, we'll even throw in a generous payment for your help. Or perhaps we can open formal relations. Throw in a generous payment. A better offer than I expected, but not as good as I hoped. Oh, you were hoping for formal relations. Fair enough. Have some formal relations. I will push for it as well, though there will be some who will clamour for blood. My co-leader and mate, Nator, will wish your flesh. There are some who are never satisfied. Not that I've ever desired to eat. I do hear human leaves you hungry for more in an hour. Such words can lead to misunderstandings. Realize vengeance is like a boar grub swallowing its own tail. Its end is never in sight. Very well, allow me a few days of rest and meditation to recover from the healing. Take all the time you need to recuperate. This will give us a chance to set up the exchange and plan in case they double-cross us. We've got more team talk. So, still the same dozen as usual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this time we do 2, then a mission, then 2, then a mission, then 2. Yada. Let's start with Alex. Upon entering the pub, you see Alex, Roselia and Xavier in the back of the room. The bar's rather quiet for a good number of people, staring at great interest at the 3 soldiers. Roselia's forehead is slightly beaded in sweat, while 2 small white objects float in the air. Popcorn by the looks of it. Okay, Roselia, let's go 2 for 2. This time try to create a double bump. Alright, give me a moment. 1, 2, Roselia closes her eyes and several more pieces of popcorn rise up in the air. They start to go up and down, and a smile crosses the psionic's face, which quickly fades suddenly, while the popcorn goes flying away, and 2 pieces come towards you. Meanwhile, you are slightly distracted as you go through your messages and mail on your communicator. You're worried of being aware of... No. Word for his pleasure... Ow! What was that? Sorry, Captain. Just getting into telekinetic practice. I need more practice for micro applications. You hit me with a piece of popcorn. Hard. That's my fault. We were trying to go for 2 simultaneous hits. And why would she need to do that? Besides trying to get it in my brother's mouth? Actually, there is reason behind it. If Roselia could control multiple objects, then anything would be a weapon. Smaller objects are fairly easy to control, but when you start multiplying them, I get a face full of popcorn. I guess it's better than playing with daggers. Alright, continue as you were. And I think that's probably a good point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.